I'm Lindsay Wallace Smith. I work for Palmetto Corp out of Conway, South Carolina, and I'm the safety director. And I've been in this position for over 7 years now. Being a female in a male-dominated industry, it's a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, when I came into this role, it was a new position. I wasn't actually the safety director when I first came in. I was doing some job cost analytics, so it was a totally new position to our company. And so I think with that and being out in the field with the guys and just monitoring them at first, they were a little standoffish, but it was more because they were unfamiliar with what I was doing out there. Not so much because I was a female, but just, why is this girl kind of following us around? Because that's how I trained for probably the first 6 months, was just going out and spending time with them. Um, but again, I think they were definitely standoffish at first, but it was more because of my position than being a female. So there's a few challenges, and a female on a job site always tends to turn heads. But once you get to know the guys and they become like family to you, it's not really a sexual tension or male female kind of issue. It's getting to know them and getting comfortable with them, no matter what, male or female. Being in the asphalt industry and working in the field, I'm about in the field half the time and in the office half the time. There's so much opportunity for growth, whether you're in my position or in any position in this company or in the industry. There's always so much to learn, and there's so many opportunities. Again, whether you're in accounting or you're in equipment operating, there's always somewhere to step up to next. And it doesn't always happen immediately, but just knowing that there's opportunities there to grow into is very encouraging and exciting. And obviously that comes with monetary gain and with respect with your colleagues and all of that. So there's just so much opportunity and job demand that I don't feel like this is something that's the rug's ever going to get pulled out from under me, so to speak. I think as far as changes that the industry could see or that I would like to see, obviously my role is safety here, so they're mostly safety related. But better protection for our workers. We're working on active roads, so police enforcement, some funding for. We have a team in South Carolina through the Highway Patrol called the SIT team that specifically works work zones. But if we could increase that and anything that we could do to make our work zones safer, due to drivers not paying attention. I mean, obviously distracted driving is a huge issue, whether you're in a work zone or not. But, especially when you get into these work zones and we have our crews out there working, it's scary what drivers could potentially do, just from not paying attention and really disregarding the safety of our employees. So, some progressions in safety, and as it relates to technology, there's some pretty forward-thinking PPE and kind of alert systems that they're very expensive and still in exploratory stages right now. But hopefully, as they continue trial and error and really narrowing down some of these safety procedures, I really feel like the technology is going to play a huge role in that. And hopefully we'll see those changes. I know we will, as time progresses and as technology grows, and as some of these options become cheaper and more feasible. I feel like there's a lot of changes that over time will progress into a safer work zone for our employees. So that's the kind of changes I hope to see over the next 5-10 years. For any young women coming into the asphalt industry, my advice would be to not have thin skin. Don't be sensitive. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know that's kind of generic, but don't be intimidated, right? There's big equipment, there's big trucks, it's loud, but just don't let it intimidate you. Go into it with an open mind and really ready to soak it all in. Like I said earlier, the opportunities are just really endless if you allow yourself to dive in and submerge yourself in what you can learn and absorb from some of these older generations. Take it all in. Don't be intimidated, and don't have thin skin, because sometimes, you know, people communicate differently, especially men, and especially men in construction. So you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. Don't take it too personal. Learn from it, and they'll respect you even more, you know, if you're not super sensitive. I guess if my career was defined by 3 words, I would say go get them. You know, that's what I've done, and that's what I would encourage other people to do. Get out there, go get them, get them done. You know, I know that sounds simple or redneck or whatever, but you just got to get out there and get after it, right? Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. You're gonna make mistakes. It's fine. Just keep on keeping on. I feel like I'm still pretty early on in my career. But, you know, I think about some of my coworkers that have retired or that will be retiring in the next, you know, 5 years or so, and the knowledge that they have. And, you know, I wish I could just cut their head open and pour all of their knowledge into my head. And I hope that whenever I get to the point where I'm ready to retire, sooner rather than later, hopefully, that people will think the same about me. Like, wow, she's got a wealth of knowledge. It's unfortunate that the industry is, you know, losing that, or that is going to be taken elsewhere. So I guess I would just hope that I have the knowledge and the respect from my peers that when I retire, that it's going to be that I'll be missed.